episode 404. I will be recapping tonight's episode of WWE Monday Night RAW right here, right now. 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Welcome, one and all, to a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic for Monday night, May 15th, 2023. And on this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, as I said on that little preview there at the beginning, tonight's WWE Monday Night RAW, and RAW was live from Greensboro, North Carolina, a site that is very famous for pro wrestling history, and it is mentioned later on tonight. But first, on Monday Night Raw, we start things off with the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They talk about their upcoming match against the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, that will be taking place at Night of Champions. And they are interrupted by the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley. Kevin Owens wants to fight them, and the Judgment Day attack. Sami Zayn goes out the ring to get a chair since they are outnumbered, and we will see that tag team match take place later tonight. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on the Judgment Day team of Finn Balor and Damian Priest. That is later on tonight on Monday Night Raw. Raw continues with Shinsuke Nakamura taking on The Miz. As of late, since the draft, The Miz has been trying to get Nakamura to team with him, and then usually Nakamura ends up making a joke about The Miz's tiny balls. Of course, that has been going on for quite a while now, and just my opinion anyway, that bit needs to be dropped. I don't know if anybody else is getting tired of the whole tiny balls thing with The Miz or not, but I kinda am. And Nakamura defeats The Miz. And next up, we see the Intercontinental Champion Gunther and the rest of Imperium at ringside, because next we are having a battle royal to determine the number one contender for the IC title to face Gunther at Night of Champions. And in this one highlight of this one that I will talk about, J.D. McDonough eliminating Dolph Ziggler and then attacking him. Or I don't know if he did eliminate him. I could be wrong about that, but he attacked him on the floor. And this one is one in kind of an upset, I would say, Mustafa Ali, or Positive Ali. So he will be facing Guthner at Night of Champions. And no disrespect to Ali, but I'm not sure if a lot of people really expect him to win the IC title to defeat Guthner at Night of Champions. I really don't. I see Guthner retaining. And in a match that was made last week in the back, Xavier Woods and Dominic Mysterio, we see Dominic get the win over Woods here tonight on Raw. And we get a promo from the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, which, like I said earlier, he brings up the fact that Starrcade is famous for being in Greensboro, North Carolina. And during this promo, he accepts the challenge for a fight against Brock Lesnar at Night of Champions. I would not be surprised at all to see Lesnar go over this time, make it 1-1 in their series, so they can have a third one that will be a rubber match sometime down the road. Who knows, possibly at SummerSlam here in Detroit, we could see that. And the main event of Monday Night Raw tonight. But first, just one thing. We see the tag team champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, preparing for their match. And then they meet up with Imperium in the back. And at first, Kevin Owens wants him and Zayn to take on all three of them. But then Sami Zayn says that they will find a partner next week to make it a 6-man tag. So we will see Imperium take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and a mystery partner next week on Monday Night Raw. And now it is time for tonight's main event on Raw. And it is Owens and Zayn taking on the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They start off just the two of them out there. Eventually, Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio make their way out to get involved. But then we see Xavier Woods come out, start fighting with Dominic, and chase him to the back. And Paul Heyman makes his way out to the entrance and is talking on his phone to somebody. As usual, the commentators assume that it is the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And also Imperium is at ringside, also to cause a distraction for Owens and Zayn. And with all those distractions going on, the Judgment Day picks up the win, defeating the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So that was tonight's WWE Monday Night Raw, live from Greensboro, North Carolina. And I thought it was an okay episode. I wouldn't say anything really special or that great happened tonight, but I also wouldn't say that it was really a bad episode either. And just, I guess you could say it was just kind of there, just like maybe an average episode of Raw tonight. It didn't really blow me away or anything, but I thought it was actually an okay episode, and that's not too bad. And now, at this time to get into a little bit of news going on in the world of pro wrestling. Unfortunately, it still does not look good for the legendary superstar Billy Graham. He is reportedly right now on life support, and the doctors say they want to take him off. I saw earlier that Dave Meltzer tweeted that his wife does not want them to, apparently. Definitely a legend, superstar Billy Graham. And also, one thing I forgot to mention during the Raw recap, Becky Lynch called out Trish Stratus for a match at Night of Champions. Also, WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. did an interview over the weekend discussing his son, the legend killer, the Viper Randy Orton, saying that doctors are encouraging him not to wrestle anymore due to his back injury, which has been causing him problems for a while now. But he said about his son that he will do what he wants. So who knows, if we do see Randy Orton back in WWE, it could be a while before we do. And that's all for this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. It is very much appreciated. Remember, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or if you want to give your thoughts on tonight's Monday Night Raw, leave them in the comment section right here on Spreaker or wherever you listen to 360 Wrestling Podcast app. You can just drop them right there in the comment section if the website or the app you listen to on has a comment section. Or you could always email me 360wrestlingpodcasts@gmail.com. Also, if you have a company or a product or anything you want to advertise right here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic and Good Morning Wrestling Fans, I'll do a read for your product. I'll try to make it good. Try not to stutter and kind of flub up like I do sometimes. I'll try to make it good. So email me 360wrestlingpodcasts@gmail.com. Like Colt Cabana used to say on The Art of Wrestling, subject advertising. And I hope we can work something out. Like I said, I will try to do a good read for you. And that's all for tonight. Hope to have more new episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic coming at you. We'll be back tomorrow morning for the Tuesday episode of GMWF. So tune in for that. And once again, I appreciate everyone listening. Until next time, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.